Ladies and gentlemen, it is not a hoax. This is not a joke when I tell you. Good morning, Ochiko.
Good morning.
No, it's not good morning. It's Oyaore.
Oyaore.
You're right.
Yes, I am. How are you?
I'm good. Funny enough, I'm actually still trying to learn Luo. But yeah, basics kidogo najua. But if you told me to write a bar,
you know, for us who are kind of bred in the city, it's a
it's a skill if you can actually speak it.
It's a skill. It's a skill because my speaking is not so good, but my writing is better. My writing is better than my speaking.
How
is because I have lived in a lot of places and experienced a lot of cultures, and I didn't get enough of my Luo side to have it as the most dominant. So
what other cultures, what other languages can you speak, or do you?
I have a lot of Swahili culture because now I spent a lot of time in Mombasa. I did a lot of Nakuru, so my cute guys. And I've done tours around the country twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so
beautiful.
I used to move around a lot until I decided it's time for you to settle, choose a city and just chill. Settle. Yeah.
Was there a particular reason for you being all around, or is it just, to experience different things, or what's the motivation behind that?
I think top of the list is exposure, but 2 is character development in Nairobi. I lost a lot of money here. I got heartbroken here. No. I was like,
wait, heartbreak really does make people leave cities. I thought that was just things that happen in the movies. I got my heart broken in Chicago. Now I'm moving to Milwaukee. It's a real thing.
It's really dependent on who broke your heart. If you cannot stop seeing their faces in this city, it becomes a problem.
Nairobi is too big.
Too big.
Nairobi is too big
for very influential people.
But okay.
Yeah. So left. Came back in 22 and started releasing music.
Wow.
Yeah, that's when I started my music in 22.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to get into that in just a bit. Yeah. But before we, fully jump into the music, when anyone asks you to describe yourself, what 3 words would you use?
Healer. I want to say healer is the very top of that list. Entertainer. Dark humor. Yeah, that's let's leave it at that.
Okay, but healer is a very uncommon way to describe yourself. What aspects of yourself would you say would make you attribute yourself to a healer?
The intention and where the motives to do and execute the arts that surround me are come from a place of the need to heal, medicate, calm. Basically just bringing people back to a place of a lot of light, a lot of peace, a lot of stillness. So it's my desire that my music and my art heals people. If you're at a bad place, gets you out of it. If you need to get out of a place, you get out of it. If you need to go back to a certain place, that's why you go back to. It draws you back to, and it draws you back to that place and centers you. So healer.
I like that.
Yeah.
No child.
Wengine watasema pedi.
No, you smart. My goodness. The conversation is just getting started right here with Ochiko, and we're about to get to enjoy some of his finest pieces right here on Baze. And as we get into it, his chances coming right up, but after these messages. For the last songs that we've just played, and even more of your songs, the guitar is a very dominant instrument in most of your music.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite instrument?
I think so, because it's a self-taught instrument.
Wow.
Yeah. I have no influences in me playing guitar.
Interesting.
My dad had one because he was an artist and he was renowned. And when I say his name with old guys, they're like,
no way.
And I'm like, really used to listen to that guy like this.
Yeah.
So my dad had a guitar in the house. And I took it one day, and he's like, there's no way I'm passing down my skills to you. You have to build your own generational sound. He gave me the guitar.
He's like, you figure it out. What?
Yeah. And I don't think it's the one thing I'm so grateful about.
Wow.
Because today I play guitar for so many Nairobi artists, and it's an identity for their songs.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wait, other than the guitar, any other instruments that you play?
Violin, percussions.
What?
Bass. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey. But, you've mentioned something very interesting. And International Men's Day was literally just a few days.
Breathe heavily.
Pardon?
Breathe heavily.
I don't know what kind of women you have in your life, but hey, I'd love to understand. And I like the fact that you said, your dad passed on something in his own special way to you.
Yes.
When it comes down to men and celebrating men, other than your dad, who is the one person that you would say you celebrate and appreciate a lot, and in terms to your art and your music, who's the one person?
I'm gonna say Modest Jabari.
Okay.
I met Modest virtually on Instagram after he did a song with Brandy Minor. And after I was on his page and stalked him, and I was like, this is a really cool guy. He was like, yeah, I think you're really cool too. At this time, he's handling a song for me, but he doesn't know it's mine. Because this is around in 2020 or 2019. So at this point, there's a project we are doing. There's a time we had a project with Beyonce and Jay-Z's team. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like unajua Kenya. Somebody had to eat, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, so at that point he was handling the mixing, but we didn't know each other, and we were all in a group, and there are so many numbers, and you don't know who's who. But everyone is just looking forward to the next time that liaison is gonna text.
Yeah.
No one else matters.
Yeah.
So when I came back to the city, I told him I'm back. But I don't know what to do. I have an album. I have a lot of music because now I'm primarily a writer. But I don't know what to do. And he's like, I think I could help you. And he did What the Hell. That was my first project, which had Like You Easier. He did Footprint, which had Yeyo and all that we have right now. Basically, my whole repertoire, if I had not met Modest, it probably would have taken more time to have it out.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, but shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Oh, child. Again, these guys have said we have to defrost by force. Get it? It's Christmas season, but hey, we're going to enjoy this one. This is More Nijo Pin by Fancy Fingers, Ochiko and Adoyo Afrique. Let's get it. That is two of the talented writers and singers that I know. Ochiko and Mutori are with Milele, and you heard it right here on Baze Radio. A very, very good morning to you, and welcome to the AM. And of course, we're still in conversation right here with Ochiko. And funny enough, as we're talking about writing, because Mutori is also someone else who I know who writes really well.
Yeah.
And him and instruments is another thing in itself. But I'd love to understand when it comes to how you write, because I know you write for yourself and you write for other people.
Yeah.
Walk me through your writing process on a normal day.
So now there are people who are writers only, there are people who are composers only, and there are people who are both. I happen to be both.
Nice.
So, and my art of writing, when it was starting, we didn't know it was writing. It was poetry.
Because I know you did start with poetry, then transitioned into...
Yes. So when I realized that poetry can be turned into composition, that's now when I started just building the muscle and just practicing. So right now, you could give me a word, and I just need to literally tie the simplest melody and then take it from there.
Oh, can we try that now?
Yeah.
Ha! The word is Mariah. Let's go.
Na mimi nimetafuta wengi na sijaona kama wewe. Wengi wamejaribu kukuchorea, lakini you're a drug that keeps on on intoxicating us. Mariah, toka ziko zile zile za kwanza, nilikuona nami nilikudata, na mimi ninakutaka. And then I met you on the streets of Nairobi. Now I'm seated next to you and we're talking, and I would never know where this would be, but the music sounds so beautiful, like Mariah on a Sunday morning. So Mariah, when you hear this, I hope that you can hear that I need to see you again. Kama siku za kitambo, see you again.
No. No way.
Yeah.
Again, that's how you know it's a talent, because yeah, the dread that still be at Maria. Yo, let's see each other next week. I'll have a few bars.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So wait. So are you dependent on just a word, or do you also have to hear a beat and figure out how to move, or because at this point that you have been confused?
Do you know where I've literally written that from? What the words that are on this back?
Ochiko, please. Now this point is like you una overdo. You literally una overdo.
Yeah, it's there's someone I look up to as a writer. UI, I think UI is a top tier writer. And me and UI were neighbors for the very longest.
No.
Like rather our folks were neighbors for the longest. Okay. And when we met and we started writing together, the one thing he told me is just learn to relate. That's the basis of it. It gets more complex as you go, but that's the basis of it. If you can relate the name Mariah to the fact that I met you a couple years back, and now you've been stuck in my mind, and now we're here talking years later, that's a whole song.
That's true.
And so many people have experienced
the same thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you have to have moods for when it comes to writing? Like, are there when you're like in certain spaces that you can't get creative, or you as long as there's a word and there's relatability, anything goes?
Yeah, the latter. As long as you need me to write, I'll write, regardless.
Wow.
I could be breaking down emotionally, and I will give you a proper sherehe song.
Huh?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
What? You know, let's just move away from that, because I'm so mind blown right now. My head has just gone blank. You mentioned that, okay, I mean, for those of us who know that you started with poetry, then evolved slowly into properly doing music.
Yeah.
But on top of that, as we move into understanding when it comes to poetry, because I mean, like you said, the writing bit and making it into a melody is just where the intricate part of it comes in.
Yeah.
But when you think of what role that poetry played into how you go about your music, what would you say is the one thing that poetry does come in handy, other than just the relatability and the ability to kind of write smoothly? What's the one major role that poetry plays into your music?
I think I love poetry because you can give so many subliminals without having to, trigger anyone or offend anyone. And poetry helps you shape things in ways that can give complexities to your art. And at times, now that we're in a very commercial industry, simple is the way to go. Truly. But I have this, and it's a way that it helps me just create a niche for myself. Now that I can do this and do it well, it means that I can integrate my works with a lot of theatre and perspectives from theatre that now tie together in my writing. And even as I'm writing, there's music that when I'm writing, I can see the visuals. And I write from the visuals, and that's it's something I learned from performing poetry and spoken word, because now you have to learn how to paint without necessarily saying Mariah is black, Mariah is white, she's wearing a black top. You really have to paint the picture of Mariah is in a cloth that is worn in the cold and goes all the way to her neck, and Yeah, without someone necessarily having to say,
I'm Liverpool neck.
Yeah, the descriptiveness is beautiful, because something that I'm also doing in the long run is learning to curate my art for people who might not necessarily be able to see it. I did a show one time and there was someone who was blind, and she talked about how there's such a big gap in visualization. So it became a thing for me.
Wow.
And now I create my music. Basically, you can see it.
Like literally with the 5 senses.
Yes.
Makes sense. I like that.
Which the healer part also comes in.
I like that.
Yeah.
And so where does the graphic design part come in all of this? Is it something that you just wake up and discover like, hey, baby, kuna venye nimechora kitu inakaa vizuri, or how does it come into play?
The graphics part, I think when we were growing up, we didn't know it's called graphics, or we were those guys who could take photos of petals and post them on Facebook, and that was enough, and it grew. And right now, I did KU before moving out of Nairobi.
Before love chased you away.
I was doing journalism then.
Nice.
I wanted to be on radio.
Damn.
I've always thought that my voice could be on radio.
Okay.
So I wanted to do radio, but then that happened. So when I changed, I was like, I have an opportunity to start. And if I want to do this radio thing, I could do it later on. So now what I'm going to do is do graphics. So I learned. At this time, my photography has grown. I'm doing photography full time. So now, where we're at right now, I do my own artworks. I do artworks for a lot of Nairobi artists, a lot of Nairobi projects. I've been doing the branding for Sarit 2021-2022 to part of 2023. I work with brands for the branding. I've worked with Shop Zetu. I've worked with I've worked with a couple people.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
No, because I've seen some of your art. It is amazing.
Yeah.
But as we're still talking, and I like that you mentioned about projects, which we're about to get to in just a little while. But for now, we get to catch a breather with some Nikita Kering. This is Tonight, coming right up on Baze Radio. That is good for me, Ochiko and Israel Onyach, aka Onyach Pala. And you heard it right here on Baze Radio. A very good morning to you and welcome to the AM. And of course, we're still deep in conversation with Ochiko. And we're about to jump right into it because, Cheche Live Sessions.
Wow.
Form.
That was a very beautiful concept.
Bro, that's what I'm like, what's happening?
That was very, very, very beautiful concept.
What up?
And we are picking that up with next 2025, but with this new EP that's going to be coming out.
Okay.
We're going to have a rollout through the year of very intimate experiences.
So it's safe to say, Cheche, love it.
Might come back with a different name.
What?
Yeah. Might come back with a different name, but definitely wait for a rollout.
It's making a comeback. I love that.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I really, let me put it this way. And it's a conversation we were having with someone, and we were saying right now it's beautiful to see that this new generational artists are not dependent on corporates and stuff like that. We're literally curating our own events, curating our own sounds, and they're literally doing really well.
Yeah. And
I think I've also just come to appreciate the fact that intimate settings for music are really becoming a thing in Nairobi. And for you, considering that you've done, the intimate settings, you've done the large venues, which ones would you say are more preferable to you and why?
I would say both. One.
You can't say both. You have to choose one.
Okay, then I'm gonna go with the masses.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Regardless of how I put this, the biggest intention is export.
True.
I need to heal the most people.
True.
With the shortest time. And the only way this keeps getting bigger and better is if more people see it. The very intimate settings can be two ways. Can be one, it's intimate and it's free, but the locations are limited and it's RSVP, or it's intimate and it's gonna cost you a lot to get access.
Truly.
So that it's intimate, because now with our numbers, if you put up, I'm doing a show tomorrow, people are gonna flock the place, whether you like it or not, because now there's a hunger for seeing KE artists thrive.
Yeah.
So people are also gonna push it. So yeah, I'm gonna say the bigger audiences, but it's very fulfilling to just see people cry up close, see people deal with their traumas real time. Like, you're letting go of that thing now.
It's giving Pastanganga. I can't.
By the time you're out of here, next time. Even gone. Yeah.
Okay. I think, okay, you do have a point there.
Yeah.
But now, because church is intimate, so don't you feel like, I feel like, for me, I feel like intimate settings work even better, because when your crowd is kind of niche, that, you know, that's a crowd, that is literally your movement.
Yes. So now a concept like that, now how we intend to like commercialize or export it is having like very top tier recordings.
Okay.
And that ensures that like now there's a replay value to it. So that now it's not just a one-time experience.
Yeah, like if you weren't there, you missed it.
Yeah, as the brand grows, there's a time that Nyash did this live thing. One night, no one could replay it. It was gone.
Yeah.
So now that's the intention of now like building intimacy virtually. Like you get to experience this thing one time. People who are probably subscribers or paid for partnerships, they get to experience that gig that one night. And if you're not there, there's no replay, there's no live recording, playback. That's just it. But that's now on a global level. But when we're here, we're going to be doing the intimate settings. The rollout is coming next year.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I'm definitely excited for that.
Yeah.
But before we get into the jam that is definitely rocking the airwaves,
Hello.
This is you and Fancy Fingers. First of all, you two together. You two make beautiful music together. So even before we even get to talk about Ochiko, let's talk about all the other projects that you've done together, from the live to the Christmas carols, heading down to Mandamano, the project that it's a 5-track EP.
It's a 5-track EP
of just revolution and talking about everything that was happening in this moment. I'd love to understand, like, walk me through a session when you're just you and Fancy Fingers working on music.
So me and Fancy, our sessions work very interestingly. So, for example, let's use the Mandamano EP as a case study.
We will never forget.
We will never forget.
Period.
So I was home and I wanted to do something revolutionary, and I reached out to a couple of artists. But guys are slow. Guys are telling me funding. Guys are telling me guys want more than just making the music. And I didn't have a solution, and I'd written music. I sent all of it to Fancy. I told him, Mini kona mziki, go listen to it when you wake up. This is at around 1 a.m. At 3 a.m. he calls me. He's like, Amka, ameshikilia guitar.
No.
He's playing through some what I had sent him, and he's like, what are you doing tomorrow evening? Like, rather when you wake up in the evening, what are you doing? I'm like, I can make time. So we partner, we do it. And at this point, he's told me, Tebu, reach out to a few people who you think could work for it. So I reach out to Njoki. Njoki's like, I don't think my music is what this would fit. But I'm like, your voice and the conviction of your sound is needed. Tell Lisa the same thing. Modest reaches out to Dex and Jojo. So they come through. And when we get there, we wrote Lala Toto Lala from a perspective of a mother.
That song is so...
And Njoki is a new mom.
Yeah.
So she wrote it
with so much. I can imagine.
So basically that's how it works most times. I send an idea and he's like, in a bamba.
Let's do it.
So we meet, I do my guitars, because now it was very affirming to see Fancy validate my guitar skills. Whether or not we say that we are not looking for validation, there are people who we look up to, and then when they
give you that tick, it's like
that's something. Yeah. So most times he has me just doing my own guitars, and then he adds his own thing. So now that builds a lot of depth in our compositions, and so now since we are both composers of different times,
so
it's a beautiful fusion. We have so much fun, and even the artists that because now we started working for other artists together.
I like that.
It's beautiful.
I like that.
Yeah.
No, and it's evident even from the music that you guys just put out, which we're about to listen to, by the way. But as we're about to wrap up this whole thing together.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Should we play another song in between? Then we get guys to listen to it. Like,
yeah.
You know what? Yeah. Let's just do that. Let's just do that for now.
Yeah.
That is slowly bringing us to 4 minutes past 11. A very good morning to you and welcome to the AM. Still in conversation with Ochiko right here as we're in our last hour of In the AM. Chico, you okay?
Very, very, very.
As we're coming to a close, first of all, before we get into the track, please, what is Ochiko up to? What are you planning for the holidays? What should we expect? Any showcases coming up? Please fill us in.
So right now we have Sarit coming in.
Nice.
I'll be Sarit's I'll be part of the showcase happening this December. So look out for that. The posters are going to be out soon.
Wait, for Christmas?
For Christmas,
Wait, like like the cantanta thing and whatever?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me make you laugh. So like 3-4 days ago, I tweeted this and I can't believe like this is actually happening. So I said, hold up. Let's find the tweet. I said this is 3 days ago.
Okay.
So I said I would definitely be down to attend at the Luo Christmas Cantanta. Okello, Israel, Uaya, Costa, Lisa, Fancy, Ochiko, Adoyo, and the whole clan.
Yeah.
In caps. Make it happen.
Yeah, so there's something that's gonna be happening in Sarit. So I don't wanna. I think it's when the other artists who are on the lineup, I think they'll release the information on their own. But just know there's something that's going to be happening in Sarit. Apart from that, I think it's going to be a time of a lot of introspection for me because it's been a proper hard year. But apart from that, just a couple bookings as we prepare for the EP in January.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to give us more information about the EP?
The EP, I think this is the first time I'm singing.
Yeah, yay!
Yeah, the EP is called Salt and Water.
Love it.
4 tracks.
Any features?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's available on a couple streaming platforms for pre-save.
Okay.
We have 3 features. So we have Fancy.
Of course.
We have Stacey Kamatu.
Love that.
We have Jirai.
The chaos about to be fun.
Yes. And it's a very interesting sound. It's very interesting sound.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is for next year.
Yes, January actually.
Hey, we started the year with eating good. It's truly a happy new year.
Bye. The way this year is done, we cannot allow it to go into 2025.
We have to undo it for the new year.
Mad.
We have to undo it.
So that's what's coming. I've told you about the rollout of the intimate sessions. I'm really looking forward and working on doing a tour circuit in the country and out. So we are in talks with guys from outside to work a Europe tour.
Love that.
And so we want to do something here. I am trying to, as I'm growing, I grow exponentially. Not just here in Nairobi or Kenya. I don't want to get... preferably, I would not want to get to a point where I am big in Kenya and no one else knows outside. So just distributing the efforts. So as we are growing and like right now, music Ochiko is doing really well in SA.
I love that.
Yeah. So now that's something that now is in the works. We're in talks with like PR teams from SA.
See how they can get you out there.
Yes,
I love that.
yes, and very happy with my distributor at the moment. They're making sure that the music is penetrating, and we're having conversations with stakeholders from parts of Nigeria, and we also work like now. We have an album coming.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey.
We have an album coming next year, which is quite mad. We have a couple international features already. Yeah, I think I posted some of it through the years we were recording. Yeah, very excited for that one. That's also another thing in making sure that we penetrate spaces that are yes. So we have someone from Nigeria, we have someone from the States.
Love that.
We have Uganda. We have SA. So we are currently looking for TZ.
Okay.
Yeah, just trying to make sure that the album Imeshiba properly represents KE, because also you're not going to attempt to take your sound outside the country
if it ain't.
Yep. Yeah.
Love that.
Some
oh my gosh.
Coming, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I think something else would be just me diving into a lot of fashion and styling oriented spaces.
Okay.
So I made a decision after my album, The Footprint, that I'd only wear like Kenyan made stuff. Brands.
Nice.
So now everything that I wear
has to have a KE
feel of it. So that's something we're getting into creating our own styling accessories.
Love that.
Getting into like becoming a fashion brand, or rather tying the fashion and the music together, with the aim of having Ochiko part of showcases in fashion that are out of the music.
Yeah, I can see you, rocking a runway with. I can definitely.
Yeah. So now that's in the plans. We've been talking to people. Brand Babu is a very big part of this.
Oof, shout out to Babu.
Yeah, Brand Babu is a very big part of it. Emmanuel Noy is a very big part of this. Nice. So yeah, we are just working through it. Pole pole. Once it's ready, it's gonna be very beautiful to serve it.
I love to hear that. Good. Bless you.
Thank you.
But before we get to listen to Ochiko,
hello,
what is the one thing you'd want for guys to take away as they listen to this track?
So this track was written, as I said, the year has been a very hard one. So Ochiko was written at a time when, you see that thing I was telling you about, regardless of the situation.
Yeah, you'll deliver. Yeah.
So it was one of those ones that like, I'm having a bad time, but once this thing is done, I'm about to outside like I've never outsided. So it's just, the call to action is just to go and have some fun.
I like that.
We've lost too many people this year.
Hey, we've all gone through so much this year.
Every month this year I've lost someone.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Even right now, I have one of my closest people in hospital fighting.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's very crazy. It's so crazy. So Ochiko is that song like baada ya kazi ni sherehe.
Kaende.
Yeah. Like maliza, but do it responsibly. Make sure you go home.
Please, you can go home in one piece. Not just go home.
Go home in one piece.
Yeah.
We can redo this thing next week.
Truly.
We don't
Still lazima ishe leo.
Usually yeah, so that's Ochiko for me. So have fun, because now it's a song that also is very genuine for me. Nilitoka ushago niko Nairobi, nimekam kutafuta do, and it gets hard. But after it gets hard,
even though it can always be even though you're not ready for the day, it can always be night. It's literally that quote.
Yes, that's it. That's Ochiko. Mjibambe, like, just remember to live life regardless of everything that is going on. Remember to live life, celebrate life, celebrate the people who are around you, enjoy this very moments that seem to be very minute and very small, and people keep on saying that there are very few things in life that matter.
Yeah.
Only like 20% of what you do in this life matters. But now the rest of the other 80, you get to experience it with people who you might never see again. Truly. So live and live truly.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oof, that got a little bit too deep. Well, please let the people know where can they find you on social media to stay connected, to know what you're about. Please plug.
Ochiko, Ochiko on all streaming and social media platforms. Yeah, that's it.
That's basically
that's it. If you forget or you cannot access it, Google it.
It's really that simple.
It's really that simple. Ochiko, Ochiko. Yeah.
Love that. Well, guys, Ochiko is available on every DSP. Get to running those numbers up, stream, enjoy the music. And like I said, Kenyan music is good, it is beautiful, and we are getting to experience this one today. As we listen to it, this is Ochiko and Fancy Fingers. It's Ochiko playing on Baze Radio.
This is Baze Radio.
We are 254 to the core.